If you've spent any time researching natural hair loss solutions, you've definitely come across scalp massage. It's recommended everywhere. Online forums swear by it, some dermatologists cautiously endorse it, and there are countless anecdotal reports of men regrowing hair just by rubbing their heads every day. But here's the problem. Most of the content out there is either overly optimistic testimonials with no real evidence or dismissive skepticism that writes it off as placebo. So, what's the truth? Can scalp massage actually reverse hair loss, or is it just wishful thinking? Today we're going to dig into the actual science behind scalp massage. We'll look at the studies that have been done, the proposed mechanisms for why it might work, and most importantly, what kind of results you can realistically expect. And at the end, I'm going to share some interesting observations from real users who have been tracking their hair loss progress while doing daily scalp massage, because theory is one thing, but real world data is what actually matters. Let's start with the skepticism because it's valid. The idea that simply massaging your scalp could reverse male pattern baldness sounds too good to be true. We know that androgenetic alopecia, the technical term for male pattern baldness, is driven by genetics and the hormone DHT. It's a medical condition with well-established pharmaceutical treatments like finasteride and minoxidil. So, how could something as simple as massage compete with that? The short answer is it probably can't compete directly with DHT blockers, but that doesn't mean it's useless. Hair loss is multifactorial. Yes, DHT sensitivity is the primary driver in male pattern baldness, but other factors play significant roles too. Blood flow to the scalp, inflammation, scalp tension, and the overall health of the hair follicle environment all matter. And scalp massage has the potential to positively impact several of these factors. Let's talk about the most obvious mechanism, increased blood flow. Your hair follicles need oxygen and nutrients to function properly, and those are delivered through blood vessels. Some research has shown that men with androgenetic alopecia have reduced blood flow to the scalp compared to men without hair loss. This makes intuitive sense. Hair follicles are metabolically active. They're constantly producing new cells, and that requires energy and building blocks delivered by the circulatory system. When you massage your scalp, you're mechanically stimulating the tissue, which causes vasodilation. That means the blood vessels expand and more blood flows through the area. This isn't controversial, it's basic physiology. The question is whether this temporary increase in blood flow, done repeatedly over time, can create lasting changes that benefit hair growth. And that's where things get interesting. There was a study published in 2016 that actually looked at this. Japanese researchers had 9 men perform standardized scalp massage for 4 minutes per day using a scalp massage device. After 24 weeks, they found a significant increase in hair thickness. Not necessarily more hairs, but the existing hairs became thicker. When they looked at the dermal papilla cells, which are crucial for hair growth, they found that the mechanical stress from massage was affecting gene expression in ways that could promote hair growth. Now, this was a small study, only 9 participants, and it didn't include a control group, so we have to be cautious about the conclusions, but it established proof of concept. Mechanical stimulation through massage can create measurable changes at the cellular level. The researchers theorized that the stretching forces applied to the scalp tissue were triggering signaling pathways in the dermal papilla cells. Another study from 2019 surveyed over 300 men who self-reported doing scalp massage for hair loss. Almost 70% of them reported improvement in hair loss, and about 30% reported stabilization. Again, This is self-reported data, so there's bias and placebo effect to consider. But the numbers are compelling enough to warrant attention. These men weren't just imagining results, they were spending time every day on this practice and perceiving benefit. So what's actually happening at the biological level? One theory is the mechanical stretching hypothesis. The idea is that when you massage and stretch the scalp tissue, you're applying mechanical stress to the hair follicles and surrounding structures. Cells respond to mechanical stress through a process called mechanotransduction. They have receptors that sense physical forces and convert them into biochemical signals. In the context of hair follicles, mechanical stretching might activate pathways that promote cell proliferation and differentiation. It could stimulate the dermal papilla cells to produce more growth factors. It might also improve the structure and function of the tiny blood vessels around the follicles. Over time, with repeated daily stimulation, these small changes could accumulate into noticeable improvements in hair quality and growth. There's also the tension theory of hair loss. This is a more controversial idea, but it has some interesting evidence behind it. The theory suggests that chronic tension in the scalp, particularly in the Galea aponeurotica, which is a fibrous layer of tissue under the scalp, contributes to hair loss. Men with male pattern baldness often have tighter, less mobile scalps compared to men with full heads of hair. The hypothesis is that this chronic tension restricts blood flow and creates a sustained stress on the hair follicles. Over time, this contributes to follicle miniaturization. If this theory has merit, then regular scalp massage could help by reducing that chronic tension, improving scalp flexibility and mobility, and ultimately creating a healthier environment for hair growth. Now, we need to be clear about what scalp massage can and cannot do. It's not going to bring back completely dead hair follicles. Once a follicle is truly dead, gone for years, no amount of massage will revive it. But many hair follicles in thinning areas aren't dead. They're miniaturized. They're producing thinner, weaker hairs, and they're in a compromised state. These are the follicles that potentially can be saved and improved. If you have aggressive male pattern baldness with completely smooth bald areas, scalp massage alone probably isn't going to give you a full head of hair. But if you're in the early to moderate stages of thinning, if you still have vellus hairs or fine hairs in the affected areas, then improving blood flow, reducing inflammation, and supporting overall scalp health could make a real difference. Let's talk about technique, because doing it wrong is probably worse than not doing it at all. The most common mistake is not applying enough pressure. You're not gently petting your head, you need to apply firm pressure. Your fingertips should move the scalp tissue, not just glide over the hair. You want to feel the scalp itself moving under your fingers. Use your fingertips, never your nails. Start at the hairline and work your way back, covering every area of the scalp. Use small circular motions, kneading motions, and stretching motions. You're trying to move the tissue in all directions, the temples, the crown, the sides, and even the back of the head should all get attention. Duration matters. The study that showed positive results used 4 minutes per day as the minimum. Most anecdotal reports from people who saw benefits talk about 10 to 20 minutes per day. That might sound like a lot, but think about it this way. If you're serious about preventing hair loss, 20 minutes per day is a small investment. You probably spend more time than that scrolling social media. Consistency is absolutely critical. You can't do scalp massage for a week, not see immediate results, and give up. Hair grows slowly. The hair growth cycle takes months. You need to commit to daily massage for at least 6 months before you can fairly evaluate whether it's working for you. This is not a quick fix, it's a long-term practice. Some people use massage devices or tools. There are electric scalp massagers, manual massage tools with multiple prongs, and even laser devices that combine massage with light therapy. These can be helpful, especially if you find it tiring to massage manually for long periods, but they're not necessary. Your hands work perfectly fine if you use proper technique and put in the time. One thing to consider is combining scalp massage with other practices. For example, doing massage after a hot shower when your scalp is warm and blood flow is already elevated might be more effective. Some people apply oils before massage like rosemary oil or peppermint oil, which have their own potential benefits for hair growth. The massage helps distribute the oil and potentially improves absorption. But let's address the elephant in the room. Why isn't scalp massage more widely promoted by dermatologists if it actually works? The answer is partly about evidence standards. Medical doctors want to see large randomized placebo-controlled trials before they recommend treatments. Those studies cost money, and since you can't patent scalp massage, there's no financial incentive for pharmaceutical companies to fund that research. The studies that do exist are small, and many of them have methodological limitations. That doesn't mean the findings are wrong, it just means the evidence isn't as strong as it is for something like finasteride, which has been studied extensively in large trials. So dermatologists stick to recommending treatments with the strongest evidence base. That's understandable, but it also means potentially helpful interventions get overlooked. Another factor is that scalp massage requires effort and consistency from the patient. It's much easier to prescribe a pill or a topical solution. Doctors are often pressed for time, and explaining proper massage technique, emphasizing the need for daily practice over many months, that's more involved than writing a prescription. From a practical standpoint, proven medications are the path of least resistance. But here's what's interesting. We've been running an app called HairBuddy that helps people track their hair loss over time using AI-powered scans. Users take regular photos, and the app analyzes hair density, coverage, and other metrics to track changes. And we've been observing the data from users who report doing daily scalp massage as part of their routine. Obviously, this isn't a controlled scientific study. Users are self-selecting, there's no control group, and people doing scalp massage are probably also doing other things to address their hair loss. But when we look at users who consistently scan their hair and report doing daily scalp massage, we're seeing patterns that are hard to ignore. Many of these users show measurable improvements in hair density over time. Not dramatic overnight changes, but gradual improvements over 6 to 12 months. Some show stabilization, meaning their hair loss stopped progressing. And the users who are most consistent with their massage routine, the ones doing it daily for extended periods, tend to show better results than those who are sporadic about it. We're also seeing that scalp massage seems to work better for people who are in earlier stages of hair loss. Users with moderate thinning show more improvement than users with advanced baldness. This aligns with the theory that massage helps struggling follicles recover, but can't resurrect completely dead ones. One user shared his progress in our community. He was 28, noticed his hairline receding and his crown thinning. He started doing 15 minutes of scalp massage twice per day, once in the morning and once at night. He tracked his progress by scanning with the app every 2 weeks. After 3 months, there was minimal visible change. After 6 months, he could see his crown filling in slightly. After a year, the improvement was undeniable. His hair wasn't perfect, but it was significantly better than when he started. Another user combined scalp massage with derma rolling once per week. He scanned monthly and over 8 months saw consistent improvement. He attributes the results to the combination, and that makes sense. Derma rolling creates micro injuries that trigger healing responses, and massage improves circulation. Together, they might have synergistic effects. What we're not seeing is people massaging their scalps for 3 weeks and suddenly regrowing a full head of hair. That's not happening. The improvements are gradual, modest, and require sustained effort. But for people who are consistent, many are seeing results that matter to them. And importantly, they have objective data from their scans to back up what they're seeing in the mirror. The value of tracking cannot be overstated. Your perception of your hair can be influenced by lighting, styling, and your mental state on any given day. It's easy to think things are getting worse when they're actually stable, or to miss gradual improvements because the changes are so slow. Having objective measurements over time removes the guesswork. When users scan regularly and can look back at their progression over months, they can make informed decisions. If the scans show that scalp massage is helping, they know to keep going. If the scans show continued loss despite months of effort, they know it's time to consider other interventions. Either way, they have data instead of just hope or anxiety. So, can scalp massage really reverse hair loss? Here's my honest take. For some people, in the right circumstances, yes. If you're in the early to moderate stages of hair loss, if you're willing to commit to daily practice for many months, and if you have realistic expectations, scalp massage can produce measurable improvements. It's not going to cure advanced baldness, and it's not as powerful as pharmaceutical interventions for aggressive hair loss, but it's free, it has no side effects, and the time investment is manageable. It supports scalp health in ways that benefit hair growth. And when combined with other practices like proper nutrition, stress management, and potentially derma rolling, it becomes part of a comprehensive approach that can make a real difference. The scientific evidence is limited but promising. The anecdotal evidence is extensive and compelling. And the real world data we're seeing from users who track their progress objectively suggests that many people do benefit from consistent scalp massage. If you're dealing with hair loss and you're not ready to jump to medications, or you want to maximize your results alongside medications, scalp massage is worth trying. Give it 6 months of daily proper technique before you evaluate results. Track your progress objectively, whether that's with monthly photos, measurements, or an app that can give you data over time. The worst case scenario is you spend some time each day massaging your scalp and it doesn't help your hair, but you'll have improved circulation, reduced tension, and probably feel more relaxed. The best case scenario is you slow down or reverse your hair loss without drugs or side effects. That's a risk-reward ratio that makes sense to me. So start today. 10 to 20 minutes of focused scalp massage every single day. Give it time, track your progress, and see what happens. Your hair might just surprise you,